I think of this week, and I know you and your players, they're focused strictly on Southern Miss, but this week in general, I just think of the phrase, this is why coaches coach, and this is why players play, and I'll let you take it from there.
I think you said it best. I think that's what it's all about. It's what it's been about since day one for us. We always talk about trying to win championships, and just really excited and proud for this group that we can be in that position to be able to do that. And I tell them all the time, there's a lot of teams that are not in that position, and so all the days that the staff is always on them about things and trying to do things right and everything, this is the reason why to be in this position.
Do you see a shift in the preparation whenever the team can accomplish a thing in this one game or the next two games? Usually the season is a grind, but now you've reached the point where each game means something different now. Do you sort of see a shift in maybe mental preparation from this team now?
No, I think you prepare the same way. I think we do the same thing all the time. And one thing that we don't want to do as a staff is, we don't want to put any pressure on them, and we want to make sure that we're putting them in a position to be successful. So, that's why I'm one of those coaches that we talk about these things all the time, so they understand and know. So when it comes to this point, we're not in that position. I say all the time, the only way you can win a championship is if you're in that position. And so as a coaching staff, that's what we try to work for every single day. And I'm just really excited that this group has bought into everything. And, I feel like we're playing pretty well and doing the things that we need to. So, but it's tough. It's tough to go in somebody's house and beat them. And so we're going to have to be locked in and ready to go.
What do you respect about Southern Miss, Michelle?
I think Joy's a great coach, and every time we've played them, we've had ball games. The way that they play, they press, they get up and down, they get in the passing lanes. Even when we played our first game here, the game was close until the middle of the third quarter, and we made some shots. So you go on the road, and they're playing well. They played really well against UTEP, and played really aggressive, I think, and probably the hardest I've seen them as far as getting up and down the floor, pressing, getting down the floor in transition. So we're going to be really locked in on the things that we're doing and making sure that we're rebounding, guarding, and defending.
Tayshia and Ivy, I'm not saying do you think they'll play better when Tayshia had 38 on senior night, but I kind of think back to Kendall and Micah and how everybody said that last weekend on the road when you had a chance to win it all, they were more locked in than ever before, and they've always been locked in. Can you see Tayshia and Ivy doing the same thing this week?
I think Tayshia and Ivy's been locked in the whole season. I just really do. I think that they understand and know what it's about. I think they understand and know what it takes to win championships, and I think that's been their focal point. I think right now, being where we're at, and that's what, I've talked to them individually about, this is a time where they just got to thrive and have fun. They've worked to put themselves in this position, and they understand because we've been here before.
Tayshia and Ivy have been in this position. The freshmen are still learning, but the players in the middle, like the D's, Sydney, Witt, and even Kayla coming back whenever she can, what have you seen from them this season and even this later part of the year where they didn't play a lot of minutes last year, but there's a lot being asked of them now? What gives you confidence in them now?
I just think we're road tested. I think that's why we did what we did in the beginning of the season. We took some lumps and we took some losses, but we were in a lot of different situations. Some ball games where we were close and leading. At Iowa, we lost in overtime. Leading in Indiana in the last minute. We lost that one. So we've been in a lot of situations, and I think it's really helped them. I think it's helped us grow. I think it gets them to understand and know how much we need them in every situation. This has been a team effort. Although, Abby and Tayshia have stepped up in a ton of ways, different people stepped up at different times, and that's what we need. We got to have that. In order for us to win on the road, this week, we got to have our bench.
Michelle, what does it mean Thursday? You guys don't have to scoreboard watch. You don't have to scoreboard watch. You're in control of your own fate. How important is that, and how much do you appreciate the fact that you control your own fate?
Well, I'm just very appreciative that this team has bought into what we've tried to get them to do so we could be in this position. That's the best thing it is, to be able to work really hard and then to be able to be in a position to know that, you show up and you tie your shoes up and everyone's competing, but you have a chance to compete for something different than some of the other teams. So I think that's what it's all about.
We've asked about Dee before, but just when we talked to Dee here, she said, basically, for lack of a better phrase, she turned the corner in the first game against Southern Miss. She said her confidence grew, and she mentioned when she focuses on her defense, that's when she's playing her best. Did you notice that Southern Miss game that Dee, something started to happen in a good way?
Well, I started to notice it a long time ago when we talked to her in practice about that. Dee has a natural knack to be able to score the ball. She can shoot the three. She's quick. She can get to the basket. all these different things. But where she has really thrived for us is being able to get our hands on balls and getting in rebounds and flying in and doing all those things. So we talked a lot about that because didn't want Dee to put a lot of pressure on herself because, as Elliot said, they haven't been in these positions before. And so we talked about that a lot, and that's, I think, one thing that I'm really proud of her is that, she's really, really stepped up for us and done a huge, brought a huge thing to the table because we need someone coming off the bench that can do those things, but also, as soon as she steps on the floor, people have to guard her.
I meant to ask this Saturday after you had about 2,500 people here, but once the numbers were crunched, it was the largest average attendance at home for women's basketball here since about the 2007 AC. It's been a long time. When you reflect on the home games this year, there's obviously Notre Dame, but the crowds this year were better. What did you just overall think of the atmosphere in Diddle this year for this team?
Well, I was definitely really impressed and just really thankful that a lot of people really bought into this product that we've put on the floor. And you're right, it has taken some time. But for those loyal fans that have been here from day one and has watched this program and all these amazing young ladies that's been through it, and now to see Tasia and Ivy great leave out, I think that's the part that makes it so awesome. And, for me, it's always personal, because I played on this floor and, I've been a part of so many great crowds. And like you said, that's why we try to do what we do, to bring in the Notre Dames and, because we want to give back to this community too. And we want them to understand and know that that's what we want to do. We want to play the best. We want to bring them here so people can come out and they can cheer and they can see great basketball. And at the end of the day, I think that grows our game.
Coach, to be on the brink of a very confident championship in 4 years, what does that say about where this program is at?
I got to give a lot of credit to the staff, especially Coach Collins and, because we've been here, but just everyone in general, just working really hard to try to put the pieces together. Winning a championship, I tell people all the time, it's hard to work from the bottom to get to the top, but it's hard to stay at the top because you have to have a lot of consistency. You got to have people buying in every single day and everybody willing to do whatever it takes to be at the top. And so, we're really blessed, and we know and understand that that's what this program deserves. All the coaches that's been here before, all the players, and that's why every single day we push them as a staff so they understand and know that nothing less will be accepted, and we have to find ways to get there every year.